Giggs. 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 No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at? It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy Carhartt cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Add it up,
I tell you what, that is still a great intro song. Might be one of the last times we hear that song. You know, this season could be the last season of that as an intro song, but it's served us well. It's a good one. But we are here, Rhodri Giggs on Football. It is Thursday, the 4th of April, but it's not as we record it. We recorded it on Monday because me and Rhodri are away. So if you're in the live chat chirping away, you're talking to no one. But so there's no Super 6 update and stuff like that because it's still in progress. So I'm delighted as ever.
No. There's a new one coming. There's a new one. What about Saturdays?
Oh, I haven't even looked. I probably got at least 20 points, I would have thought.
Well, I'll tell you now, you got 6.
Is that all? Shocking.
Yeah. And what did I get? I got 9. So
there we go. I had like fallen off a cliff. I have.
So again, just more points. You know it's free. It's just more points going ahead. But no, I understand you don't want to talk about, or I don't remember, or I don't know. But whatever. Yeah, there's another one this week. Because we'll have to talk about
that's Tuesday,
the midweek games, won't we? Next week, as well as the weekend games. So.
Yeah, so what we could do is we'll just do some predictions for Saturday's Premier League games because they'll be in the Super 6, won't they? So we'll just do them at the end. But yeah, I'm joined as ever by Rhodri Giggs, ex-professional footballer at a variety of Welsh League clubs, Manchester clubs. How are you, my friend? You good?
Yeah, come on, mate, yeah.
Loving the bank holiday, mate. Yeah, loving it, mate. Easter.
Well, I'm out for 2 weeks, so
yeah,
it's
off on holiday, the rest of it.
Days, party time.
Party time indeed, mate. Party time indeed. It's a bank holiday Monday. Cut the Bluebirds.
Football show. I'll wear. I haven't worn my Senegal top yet, so
I'm
putting on a few pounds, so might not be able to get on it soon.
Skin tight, be like one of those skin tight ones that the Cameroon players used to wear, isn't it? There you go. Now you never know what football tops we might have on in the future. Can't discuss that possibly at the moment.
Oh, there you go. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's been homage to the retro kit. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't fully discuss it yet because it's not quite over the line, but it should be over the line over the next few days. Certainly by I think the end of this month we'll have those.
Yeah, it's a friend of my son, a lad who lives on his street, Mamadou. Is Senegalese family, and his dad got me and my lad these tops. So
nice. I like a good Puma kit as well, mate. So interesting. Yeah, gotta love. I like a bit of retro kits, mate, as well. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll get them soon, hopefully. But let's talk about the football, mate. Let's start with your team because Jesus. It's mad, mate, right? As good as they played against Liverpool, the fight, the aggression, the passion, the work rate, everything which they showed against Liverpool, they didn't show against Brentford, and they made Brentford look like 1970s Brazil, mate. They really did. Like Brentford, just the way they're like popping it out, just allowed to just walk out of defence. Embarrassing. I thought it was really, really poor as I can remember United playing in a one-off game.
Yeah, it's just that's what they're like, mate. So inconsistent. You don't know which team you're gonna get. You know, it's very rare like this year or this season that they put 90 minutes together. So, yeah, it's so many players that are bad. But I'm taking a very dislike to Bruno Fernandes and how he's playing it, how he's chasing about in that midfield and leaving that midfield just open. It's he's the catalyst for it, like chasing down a keeper. Why?
Yeah. Funny enough,
I'm sure one of them starts from the goal. He chases down the keeper, passes round him, and he's out of midfield. The midfield's a big gap, and they play around and they come up, going up the other end and score. Rashford, oh my god! McTominay. The ball. I don't think he had touched the ball.
Well, McTominay, like when you play him as if you've got him and Bruno in the same team, it's just you may as well just put Mainu in there literally on his own because he's so isolated. Because McTominay is just whatever. Bruno goes, and it's weird, right? Because so I think it looks like a tactical decision that Bruno is the trigger for the press. So when Bruno goes, Højlund's supposed to go, the wingers are supposed to go, except when Bruno goes, Højlund will go, but then the wingers sort of
Rashford will go.
Rashford cheats all the time.
Yeah,
and then like you say, it's just a massive gap. And former United Academy graduate John O'Kane has been banging this drum probably for most of this season, being saying that the Bruno is a big part of the structural problem in the midfield of United because he just chases everything. And I think, like I've said to you before, if they're going to play McTominay, would it not be better to play McTominay in the sort of 10 and Bruno as the deeper one, and then he can press and chase in the midfield, and you don't leave a huge gap to be played through all the time? But for whatever reason, that doesn't happen. And it just, I agree with you, mate, it was so simple. And I believe that if he's not going to play Bruno either on the right or deep, Mason Mount's got to be, as he gets fit, surely you have to consider whether Mount would be a better option for the team as a whole, even if it's just for a few games. Because that is, United's midfield, all season, teams just walk through it. And you're not talking like Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea's or whatever in the world. Every single team they play just walks through their midfield. And their attack is up. Their defense is deep because when Martinez doesn't play, they got no one they can't press within the defensive structure. So you just have this huge gap. The midfielders go wandering, and Kobe Mainu is just left there on his own against 4-on-1. And it's doesn't matter how good he is. What's he supposed to do in that structure? That's a structural problem that's caused by either the manager's tactics or the likes of Bruno, Rashford, whoever, doing their own thing and not sticking to the principles that the manager wants them to do. And if they're not sticking to those principles, then he should pull them off. Do you see what I mean? You can't have it both ways. Either it's his problem, it's his fault because that's the way he's telling them to play, or they're not listening to the way he wants to play, doing their own thing. So he should sort that out.
I don't see him. I'm been against it, but I don't see him being there next year, the manager, coach, to be honest. I just don't see it.
I thought that looked like a team.
What I'm hearing, whispers and things that you hear, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. especially with the people that are on board now. And yeah, I just don't see it.
So the interesting thing for me is I still think, and I said this, I've been quite consistent all season, is like Roy Keane said, mate, these players, the vast majority of them have thrown manager after manager after manager under the bus. And to me, that Brentford game, for the first time this season, I think, I've got to be fair, the first time this season, I thought that looked like a team of players who think that they're going to outlast this manager, and they didn't play for him, which is weird when you consider that in the Liverpool game, they looked like they would run through a brick wall for him. And
it's what they've been like all the time. But it's inconsistency. It's just. Do
you think it's anything to do with the international break, mate? Maybe a few of them have had a little conversation.
Possibly. A lot of travelling. So then they've gone down to the ground on the day, which is unusual. So all possibilities, but it's just excuses in it at the end of the day. Everyone's been there. All their players have been away, I'm sure, and it happens. The Premier League, they've experienced players that dealt with this stuff before. It's just excuses at the end of the day. And it's
Do you
just
think that
show, and it's the same players?
Those England players have probably had the nod off Gareth Southgate to say, "I'll be there in the summer, my boys. So don't worry about it. Just play your football. When I come in the summer, I'll sort you out. You'll be playing week in, week out. Beautiful football, the Southgate way."
What, losing? Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see what's he won.
No, I'm telling you, we'll see. I bet you he's Man United. I bet you he's the Man United manager by the end of the
I'll bet you he's not.
It'll be interesting how the fans take it if he was, because I think that
it won't happen, mate. It won't happen. He's already put the feelers out, and it's been put out very sharply. It was a bad reaction to it. He's not going to tap.
I don't think
he's not Manchester United manager material, in my opinion. It's just not.
Do you think? Right. Let me ask you another question. Let's go.
Edson Middlesbrough did okay, but ended up getting sacked. Went to England, been in multiple times where he should have won that cup, and he didn't because he didn't want to take risks. When you're a Manchester United manager, you need to be able to take risks at certain points, and he doesn't.
He also got England relegated from the Nations League. People forget that.
There you go.
So here's another. I want to go. Let's go it a different way, right?
And he's just lost and drew at home his last two games. So what we talk about here? Winners win.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho won. No, Poch loser. That's why he's not. No, what's he won? Carling Cup, great. No, he couldn't win that. Got to be at Liverpool. So there's winners, and there's not.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go a different way then. Let's say, right, Ineos, at the end of the season, say Man United miss out on Champions League, but they win the FA Cup, right? Hypothetically, Ineos sitting down at the end of the season, they say, right, Eric, a lot of the problems which you've had to deal with this year have not been down to you. We are very concerned about X, Y, and Z within the team structure, blah, blah, blah. You can get rid of who you want to get rid of, and we'll give you money as best we can to get the players you want in. We'll work with you. You've got the remainder of your contract, which is 1 season, to show us why you should be the Manchester United manager.
He's only got one left.
Do you believe that he could do it? Do you believe he could still turn it around if he was given the tool, like he was given the license to get rid of whoever he wants, whether that's Rashford, whoever, and get in at least a portion of the as best they can, the players he wants? Do you think he has got the capabilities and the mentality to turn it around at United and get them challenging again? Or do you think
they've got so many bad players, so many players that not necessarily bad, but just bad for his system?
You think there's too many you'd have to get out and in, for it to be
yeah.
So
should have got rid of Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay last year.
Yeah.
There's two less. that you don't have to get out. Then you got to get Casemiro out. You've got to either get Rashford or Fernandes out, one of them two. Martial leaves. Then you've got to probably get. Does Wan-Bissaka leave? Does he go? Malacius, he's only been here 2 minutes, but does he stay? Does he got this? Yeah, you're talking about 8, 9, 10 players.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? It's
Lindelof, he's been there a while now. Varane, he's coming to the end. What happens with him now?
If they change the manager, they've still got to get rid of those players.
Eriksen, no. Amrabat, he's on loan, so he's going.
I'd think Casemiro probably touch and go whether he goes as well. But then, if regardless of the manager situation, those players will still be going or should be going. So, should Ineos almost work their way down, sort out the system off the pitch, get rid of the players they want to get rid of, get who they kind of get a few in, and let him just see out his contract, which is his 1 season, and then make the decision? Or do you think they make the decision now and kind of...
It all depends, mate. It's all depending on how the season ends. Does he get in the Champions League spot? Because it's probably 80% now hearing that your fifth place qualifying for the Champions League spot. So if he don't get 5th and he gets 6th or 7th and doesn't get an FA Cup, come on, mate. Come on.
But then on the other hand, mate,
injuries or not, he still had a lot of money, and some of them players have been not good.
But then some of them have
not played. You know,
some of them have been
Mount, Martinez. There's only shining light really. It's Højlund. He looks like he's going to be a really good player because he's coming to a shit start, but he's come through it and now he looks dangerous. But
then Martinez, mate, this has been quality. He obviously had a bad injury.
Yeah, played on it, made it worse when
Yeah, that sounds like it's down to the medical staff. They got rid of that. They got rid of those medical staff as well.
Yeah, exactly. We're rightly so, because he shouldn't be playing if that's the case.
They shouldn't have rushed him back. Yeah. So United are 8 points off Spurs in 5th. With how many games is there left? Probably. What was it? How many games is left? Is there?
7, 8, 9.
So there's plenty of games to play, but what we can probably say with relatively safe is that United won't win every game. No. They might go on a little run where they win a few.
Well, we've got Chelsea, Liverpool next game, 2 games. Chelsea away, Liverpool at home. So they could easily lose them too.
Yeah, they could. They have a recent record is pretty good against Chelsea, and I think the way Chelsea play probably suits United. Liverpool will want revenge, and I think that could be a painful watch, I've got to be honest. But then with Martinez back, and he mentioned Luke Shaw's going to be back, and Mason
we've got to play Newcastle, we've got to play Arsenal, we've got to play Brighton as well. All games that, even Crystal Palace away, difficult at the minute. Newcastle at home, Bournemouth away.
Yeah, Burnley are going to be fighting for relegation. They're not going to roll over.
The only thing with that is it's Old Trafford, so I don't see a worry with that.
Yeah, it's just just going back to the structure of the midfield. United are average before the game against Brentford Saturday night. United on average have conceded, I think it's something like 15 shots per game. That is as a stat is mental, mate. To concede 15 shots on average per game. The law of averages says if you concede 15 shots against the big teams or the teams with a big striker, you're going to concede a lot of goals. And I think on another day, Brentford scored 3, 4, 5 on Saturday night. Their finishing was a bit off. On another day, those chances are taken. So, yeah, I think it's a problem, mate. To me, though, I look around and I think there's not an obvious replacement for him. Maybe
that's the problem. Lost 11 games as well. 11 games this year.
But then, do you know what's mental, mate? His win percentage is still one of the highest for United managers since Fergie. It's 66% or something. which is
but that's
mental.
because but Fergie get a slow start, didn't he?
I do, but I mean, since Fergie, out of all the United managers, Ten Hag's win percentage is like, I think it's either the highest or the second highest or something. Like, it's still really quite high considering. Like,
You can't have many more than performances though.
Mate, it was so bad. But then, so here's, like, I looked at that and I was thinking, as I was watching it, mate, I was thinking, right, next game they play Chelsea. Rashford's on the bench for me and Ahmad's playing. Bruno's on the bench for me and Mount is playing. McTominay's on the bench and Casemiro or Amrabat. I'd play fucking Amrabat and Casemiro together with Mainu slightly further forward, I would. And just tell Amrabat to sit, tell Casemiro to be busy, and let Mainu be
I still think Mason Mount's better in the middle.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But, like, just as a structure point of view, I'd say against Liverpool,
Get your structure in now. Get him in there. Now.
Yeah, in the 10.
Put Fernandes out there on the left.
So would you give Ahmad a start against Chelsea?
No.
So you put Bruno on the left for.
I need something that's going to come on and make a difference. I know you can do that off the bench.
Okay, so So you'd say Bruno on the left for Rashford. Mount in the 10 and Garnacho on the right.
Yeah.
Or you could put Bruno on the right.
I'll give Anthony a go. Put Garnacho on the left and put Anthony on the right.
I thought Anthony looked quite relatively busy.
He's obviously working on things, and no.
And do you know what I've noticed since he come back? The most recent time he's come back, when he gets the ball, he's driving at the fullback and trying to beat him on the outside more. And I think he's quite quick. He's clearly skillful. Like, I think with him, I don't know what it is. Like, it's the over-reliance on cutting into his left. But then Ian Robin did that for years, mate. It was all left foot. Like, if you can do it well, you can do it. But, yeah, I agree with you. I think he probably deserves a start or a chance. I thought Garnacho didn't do a great deal. But he's young, mate. So he's going to be in and out. A few games good, few games average. But I just think they've got to change it up. They've got to give the likes of Mount, Anthony, Ahmad, like Amrabat, Casemiro, whoever, like they've got to give some of these players a go. Eriksen, because they got no control in the midfield. The one thing you could say with Eriksen in the midfield is he gives you a bit of control. So maybe him and Mainu, I don't know.
But you use the legs.
Yeah, this is very true. And I think Mainu's not the quickest, is he? So, like, against Liverpool, which is not the next game, but I would play Amrabat, Casemiro, and Mainu in the middle. And I would give Mainu a little bit more license to push on, just to make him structurally a bit more. Because Liverpool, can you imagine Liverpool played against with that performance? The United put out.
They could have easily been 3 or 4 up at Old Trafford, easily. Yeah. So it could easily be 6-0 on Sunday.
Well, this is the thing. If United were to lose heavily, like 4-5-0 to Chelsea and Liverpool now back to back,
that'd seal his coffin. That. Yeah,
especially after the losing 7-0 to Liverpool last year. If he was to lose heavily at Old Trafford to them, I think that's probably a problem which he can't come back from. Do you think United get 5th, mate? Just quickly.
No.
Okay. Do you think they win the FA Cup?
50-50 on that. They'll have a chance, won't they? Because I'm sure they'll get to the final.
They should. Coventry. I watched Coventry today, actually, and
got a couple of really good players. See how City turn up against Chelsea.
Yeah,
if it's United City again, it's not good.
But then on the other hand, United have got a very good recent record against Chelsea, like I said, and I think on that big pitch against Chelsea, that would suit them.
We'd rather play Chelsea against City, 100%.
Of course. So the one thing I say about Coventry, mate, just if we talk, I know realistically United should win, etc., blah blah blah, but just on in terms of how Coventry play. They will be in United's face and they will try and put them under pressure. What they do have is they have a striker who is bang in form He's the leading scorer in all the divisions since Christmas. And, as you know, mate, when a striker's in form, just got a habit of everything he touches ends up in the net. And Ellis Sims is banging form. They got Haji Wright, had a goal disallowed today. Very, very good. They got a couple of players where if United go into it with a poor attitude, thinking they're going to walk it, they have got one or two players who could cause them a few problems. So they will need to be at it. But of course, they should ultimately, United should win. So that's what it is. Let's talk about some of the other Premier League games over the weekend. There was goals galore, mate, wasn't it? Over the weekend, like it was just goals everywhere in the Premier League. It was quite mental, mate. Actually, just speak to me about Calvin Phillips, right? Calvin Phillips has had another nightmare. Conceded a penalty, which I didn't think was actually a penalty. Hasn't played particularly well. West Ham have lost the game, and when he's getting on the bus. So you're talking like an hour or two after the game is finished. Some fans have stayed behind with the sole intent to shout abuse at him. They were shouting he's useless and giving him shit. So as he's got on the bus, he's just giving him the old middle finger. And then everyone's got their hand like, oh my God, how can he do that? Oh, we should not be doing that. His wages, it's this, it's that. What I don't understand, right, is these grown men will go on their social medias, will be in the crowds, and they'll shout abuse at these guys. And then when they react, they're human beings. He's clearly having a tough time at the moment. He's been dropped from England. He's not playing very well. Hasn't played much over the last couple of years. He hasn't gone off. He hasn't been violent. He hasn't. He's just, just fuck off, basically. I don't understand it, mate. I don't understand staying behind 2 hours to give people shit. But did he do anything wrong? Should he have done? Should he know better? Is it just an emotional?
He's a human being. He's a human being, mate. We've all got emotions. All react differently. But should he have done it? Should he have done it? No. Is it a big thing? No. If a grown men and loads of people are getting abused, he's reacted. He's not a robot. He's obviously going through a bad time because he's supposedly the Yorkshire Pirlo, but yeah, he's having a shocker, mate. And he's just obviously won't be there long. He'll move on, and hopefully he can get to home where he can get back to where he was performing like he was at Leeds, because he was doing well there. But yeah, since this is what happens, mate. What happens when you go to a big club and you're not and you're with big fish and you don't perform and you don't adapt, you get left out in the cold, and then 2 years later, you're not playing any football, and that's what's happening with this fella now. So hopefully he gets a move that he wants in the summer, just get back on track. But no, it's nothing, is it? It's nothing. But we live in a world where people are soft, looking for reactions, then claim victim. Yeah, it's all bollocks.
It's embarrassing, mate, isn't it? That's what it is people are looking for a reaction, and then when they get the reaction, it's suddenly this big thing. I was just like, Jesus Christ, grow up, Yeah,
it happens, mate. It happened to me. I'm in a nightclub, people want to get me reaction. Yeah, you got reaction. You get knocked out and you're on the floor. But unfortunately, I ended up going to prison for it. But but we live and we learn. It was a long time ago. But yeah, it happens. You just learn from it. But it's not a massive issue. You just give them a bird and that's it. After hurling abuse, we don't know what it was said, but it probably wasn't nice for them to react.
They were calling them useless and the rest of it, basically.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, just embarrassing, mate. On the game, that a cracking game that was, West Ham versus Newcastle. Newcastle have kind of seemed to have faded away a little bit, haven't they? This is obviously they had Champions League football for the first time in a very long time. Do you think that's affected them? Obviously, they lost Tonali, who was a big part of their midfield, to the ban, and they just they've been all right. Newcastle, they've done pretty well. But they're not going to get Champions League football. They're not really in the race for Champions League football.
They've had a lot of injuries, then, haven't they? A lot. I've seen a list of injuries they've had. They've had a lot of injuries. So, yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Do you
But,
think
this is what happens when you're in big competitions and you're playing 2-3 games a week. You have to have big squads, and you have to be able to manage that. If you don't, your players will pick up injuries. So lack of experience, I don't know. Unlucky, I don't know. But this is another problem you've got to get with being successful. You have to manage all these things.
Do you think Eddie Howe is definitely safe in the summer?
Oh, I think he should be, but you never know. You never know. These people have got an endless pit of dough, and they want the best of the best. But I should think they would give him, they would give him at least the start of the season.
You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? But like we saw with City, mate, when their new owners, when they took over, you just never know how patient they're going to be. Like, because they have got so much money, and it's almost like a case of, do they wait, or do they just go, no, do you know what? We want the best of the best. Sorry, mate, you had your chance. You haven't done it. And they kind of go from there. And you just never know. Like, I would imagine, what are they in the table, Newcastle? They're 8th. If they finish 8th, I think that those owners will not be happy with that. I don't think they will. Regardless of injuries and everything else, I believe that they won't be happy with that finish. It might.
What about 7th?
Even that, mate. It is like, it's difficult, mate.
It's Villa that surprised everyone, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't know, mate.
They've upset the apple cart of the so-called top 6. Well, mind you, Chelsea are not even there, so they wouldn't even win.
Chelsea,
yeah,
where
so
are Chelsea?
Yeah, Tottenham and So what is it? The top 6? Yes, and Chelsea not even in it. So Newcastle make it top 7 now. I don't know. It's difficult, isn't
it? It's like what should they be expecting? What should fans be expecting from these clubs now? Because there's so many of those clubs that I look at outside of Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, right? You've got Villa, Tottenham, United, West Ham, Newcastle, Chelsea all the way down in 11th. Like, what should fans of these clubs be expecting? Where should they be expecting their teams to finish? Because the financial fair play aspect, the different things, like, it all kind of contributes, and I'm just not entirely sure, like, where United should be aiming for in terms of the short term. I understand that in the long term they want to get back to challenging for championships, but like, would you sacrifice being in the Champions League for the next 2 seasons if it meant after those 2 seasons you were back to challenging for the title and the rest of it?
Say that again.
Would you sacrifice no Champions League football for United, like nowhere near it, for the next 2 seasons if it meant the 3rd season you'd be challenging for the title?
No.
And this is the thing, isn't it? So, like, when you look at
it, this year, then you can put it to bed. But next year, you should be in the top 4. This is Man United side.
No, I'm not disputing that. I guess what I'm asking is,
it's not Newcastle, it's not Chelsea, it's not.
But they're not what they used to be, because it's been so badly run.
Still a juggernaut paying massive fees for big players. So if they get that right, which they will eventually.
Yeah, and I mean,
other teams can't do that. No, you have people argue, say, well, Chelsea have done it, but wild spending. Newcastle seems to be going the other way, where they're doing it slowly, methodically, which is the right way to go, because they've obviously learned from City. Chelsea just come in and just start going wild. United are going to get it right, because they're getting the right people put in place brick by brick. So they will get it right.
Incidentally, United have been linked today with, or they've made an approach, I think, for Jason Wilcox, who I had said a couple of weeks back to you that I'd heard they were knocking about. Like, and I got to say, if United get Jason Wilcox within, the structure that they're already putting in place, like with Dan Ashworth and Barada and all these people, that is an absolutely top quality signing in terms of the off the field structure. It really is. Like, if I was at another Premier League club, I would be starting to worry about what United are putting together off the pitch, regardless of, they can all like laugh at United now for their performances and this, that, and the other, and they can take the piss out of Anthony and, whatever that rival fans are always going to do. But what I would say is United off the field are making moves that, in my opinion, will set them up for the long term in a big way. And I think that is something that other clubs should fear, because if they get that right and then they get the manager right, they generate their own money, so they're less tied by financial constraints than other clubs, which makes it very interesting, mate. I got to say, United are almost like a wild card in the opposite way to what Chelsea are.
Yeah, we talked like 20 minutes of United.
I know. We ended up back on them. But the question I was asking, mate, I guess, is what should Aston Villa, Tottenham, West Ham, Newcastle, Chelsea, what should their aims be realistically for the rest of this season and the next?
Just to get better.
Just keep progressing, you think? Like, for Villa,
especially Villa finished fourth, then it's going to be difficult for them to finish third, second or first. But that's what they aim to do. It's going to be difficult because they're in Champions League. We have the same problem that Newcastle have had. The problem, the good thing that Aston Villa have got, they've got an experienced coach, experienced manager who's been in these situations for a long time, playing these games Saturday, Thursday, Wednesday, Saturday, Thursday, Wednesday. So, but you still have to have the quality of players and the quality of squad to be able to perform at the maximum you're coaching. So it'll be difficult for Villa next year if they do get into the Champions League. Yeah, who else do you say? Chelsea?
Yeah. I think Chelsea got a really good young squad. I do.
Yeah, Chelsea just need to concentrate on just getting centre forward. A top-class centre forward. Because that's all they're lacking at the minute.
I think the consistency with Chelsea will come.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. They've got a good coach. They bought a load of young players with very good potential. They just need a centre forward.
Ivan Toney, the man for you?
Probably a good centre half. What?
Do you think Ivan Toney would be a good move
Ivan
for them?
Toney would be very good for Chelsea, yeah. Be very good. Perfect for him.
If you were Ivan Toney, would you go to Chelsea or Arsenal if you had the choice?
I would go to... That's a difficult question, that.
So, I'll give you my opinion just quickly while you have a think about it.
See, my head's saying Chelsea, but my heart's saying Arsenal.
Interesting. Like, so if I look at it from his point of view, like the short term is almost go to Arsenal because they're competing now. But if I'm him and I look at the Chelsea team and I'm thinking, well, hang on, like you just said, they need a striker, and then look at the players they've got within the squad, which they can then build on over the next 10 years. The problem with Chelsea is always going to be that Todd Bowley's an absolute nutter, and he could just do a madness and sell them all, sack them all, take over the manager as himself. Yeah, so it's a weird one, isn't it? Like, because like I look at the Chelsea player, like, Enzo Fernandez and these types of players, they're so young, but they're so talented. And you just think when they get it right, it'll click into place. But it's whether is Potts the right man to do it? Is the off the field stuff going to interfere with, like, where's the off the field stuff going to sort of interfere with the on the pitch stuff? Because Todd Bowley, no matter what you say, he's a loose cannon, and he has seemed like he just thought, you know what, financial fair play, I don't need to stick to that, and he's just done a madness. But I don't know. I think there's a bit of potential. If I was a Chelsea fan, I would be quietly confident that if we can get a striker in, we'll do all right in the next 5 years. What about Spurs, mate? Where do you see their season ending now? They're 5th at the moment, 3 points behind Villa.
So it's all up for it, isn't it? It's all to play for. It's all to play for because they've all got difficult fixtures as well, kind of like similar fixtures as well. So, they've got some difficult fixtures. So, but it's going to go down to the wire anyway.
Yeah, it's fascinating, mate. That is that sort of everything outside the top 3 is so close that it could literally go to anyone in terms of.
And then you've got the top 3 that are close. Yeah. So
top 3 is looking mental.
This is what you want, isn't it? Premier League. Yeah. You don't want it done by 2 weeks or just a one-horse race. You want multiple teams in it. Hopefully, one other or two others can join the race next year and be a bit more tighter. But,
anything you saw on the weekend change your opinion about Man City winning the league? Like, do you sort of lean more towards like Liverpool or Arsenal, or do you still think City?
I lean more towards Arsenal, to be honest.
Okay.
If they did have Ivan Toney, they would win the league this year.
Interesting.
He started as Arsenal player this year, they would have won the league.
That's fascinating to me, that is, because they've been so heavily linked with him. They were even linked with them making a move for him in January, and at one point it looked like it might happen.
Yeah, if he was on their books now, they would win the league. They would have won that game yesterday.
Yeah, that's what they lack in it. It's like an out-and-out number 9, and I think, like we've rightly said a few weeks ago, that they've done it without a number 9, and they've done it well, and they deserve credit for that. Like, the way they've played has been quite impressive. But now, like in a game like that, in the big games, it's very, very difficult to play without a number 9, I think. And like you just said, if they'd had a Tony or someone like that, they probably would have got over the line against City yesterday.
Arsenal can get away with it because they've got willing runners all over the pitch. So they've got legs all over the pitch. Don't carry anyone. Havertz is mobile. Saka's mobile. Odegaard's mobile. Who else is there? They're all very mobile there. So they can get away with it. They haven't got a Casemiro or someone who's not as mobile.
Yeah. Right, mate. Obviously, it's a pre-recorded show, but we'll do predictions for the Premier League games, which are on Saturday, because we don't know what the Super 6 games are going to be, basically. So first up, we've got Crystal Palace at home to Manchester City.
2-0 City.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 3-0 City there, I think. Aston Villa at home to Brentford.
2-1 Brentford.
Ooh. I'm going to go 1-0 Aston Villa. Everton at home to Burnley. Oof, that's a big
2-1. 2-1 Everton.
I'm going to go 1-1 there. 1-1. Fulham at home to Newcastle.
3-0 Fulham.
3-0 Fulham. Woof. I'm going to go with I'm going to go 2-2. Sit on the fence a bit there. Luton at home to Bournemouth.
1-0 Luton.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2-1 Luton. Wolves versus West Ham.
I am going to go 1-1.
I will go 2-1 West Ham there. Brighton at home. Brighton Arsenal. Oof.
2-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal for me. I fancy Arsenal there. Arsenal just seem to have the momentum to I don't know. They just seem to be getting it going at the right time.
2-1 Arsenal.
Manchester United, Liverpool. Oh, it's a big one, that is, isn't it?
2-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to go.
In fact, no, I'm going to go 4-1 Liverpool. I think they're going to get fucking battered.
Yeah, I think Liverpool are going to win quite comfortably.
So 4-1. Sheffield United, Chelsea. I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0 Sheffield United.
Interesting. I'm going to go with 2-1 to Chelsea there.
Forest 2-0. Brendan Johnson. Son.
Gonna ruin it for his old team, is he?
Yeah.
I'll go Tottenham 3-1. And that's your fixtures for the weekend. Just for the fun of it, Cardiff City will play Hull City on Saturday at Cardiff City, mate. What do you think the score will be?
2-0 Bluebirds.
Come on, a City.
There was 1-1 Hull City. Leeds.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Interesting indeed, mate. That is big games in the championship. Championship is hotting up. We will we'll have a good look at the championship next week when we do the live show. We'll have a little delve. We haven't had a good look at the championship for a while.
If we must.
We'll get.
Wait there 1 minute. I just need to check something out for the viewers so they're up to date and they need to know where the league standing is.
You're breaking up, mate. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So I'm 23rd, so I've gone up another 2 places. So 377 I'm on. And signed, well, it'll just take me a bit to go down. 322. So you're only 57 behind. So, and you've have you gone up? Have you gone down? No, you've just stayed equal. So 61st, Si. I am 23rd. I could get in the top 10. By the end of the season, I'll be in the top 10.
Okay.
Yeah. And
beautiful.
Yeah, now I've really took it serious and not just done it in 30 seconds. We see the results. So yeah, I'll be doing that from now on.
So for 2 seasons you didn't take it seriously, but now you are.
No, just 30 seconds, just boss. Now I'm taking details. I'm doing my homework. And then we see the results.
I see. Excellent. Well, I'm glad that that's the case for you. Congratulations. It's embarrassing, mate. It's embarrassing. Here he is. As always, mate, it's a pleasure. We'll be back to live next Thursday. Spread the word. We should hopefully have a new sponsor soon as well, so make sure you keep a lookout for that. Anything to add?
Peace.
Have a good holiday, mate, and I will see you.
Yeah, I'll be tanned next week.
You might not be with me though, will it? You might be with Rob. We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
We'll see how we go though. You can tell him all about your Super 6.
Yeah. Sweet.
Right, nice one, mate. Have a good holiday. We'll see you soon.
All right, see you in a bit.
In a bit.